everyone doing? So this message is going to be about family ties. And if y'all see my glasses, they keep acting up. Like, they look ashy. But I ain't worrying about it. I keep putting something on it, and it keeps getting like that. But anyway, family ties. So, everything in the world has a positive and negative. Anything you think of. Food, people, place, things. Y'all, like everything. Music, all of these things has a positive and a negative, depending on the person who receives that information or looks at that information. It could be considered as positive or negative. Okay, when it comes to family, everyone in the world has a reality family and a spiritual family. You have both, okay? And your DNA, you have two different types of forms of DNAs as well. Now, when it comes to family, you have a good family, and you got positive family and a negative family. And how you would know is based off how you are treated. Okay, so this is one way. So I'm gonna use my family for example, and this is why I say you need to know who you are in the spirit. A lot of spirits that are within your family line, like in your family, could be evil, and some can be good. Okay. Some are evil, some are good. So say, for example, with my family, in reality, if they didn't have the spirit within them, they would be nice people. I see it. They will all be nice people. However, the spirit within inside of them is cursed. They're evil. Okay? The spirit is cursed and evil. So it's about who's the strongest? Is the reality side stronger or the spiritual side stronger? Okay? One has to heal the other. The good always have to heal the bad. Either you have to heal through the spirit or you heal through the reality. That's how it goes. It's like going to school. Either you're going to learn from going to regular school or you're going to learn from the streets. You're going to learn one way or another. You're going to learn something. So, like with my family, because they didn't do the work and fixing the spirit that's within inside of them and healing that spirit, that evil spirit is controlling their reality. So there are times when I can tell that they are normal and I don't feel that evil spirit. And then the other majority of times I can see when the spirit pops back in and controls their narrative and what they do and how they do. And it's in the blood. I'm not sure if y'all heard, it was this thing, I forgot where it was at, but there was this thing where they took some blood from a military guy, right? And they put it in this little thing. And they had the military guy go into another room and watch a video of like bad stuff or whatever, right? Even though the blood was outside in this little container, this thing, the blood was still able to react to what the person was going through. Okay? So it's in your bloodlines. A lot of y'all are good people, but your bloodlines are tainted. And when it comes to karma, okay, karma is going to come to the spirit. It's not coming. This is how the karma hits your spirit. All right. And then based on how you can handle that spirit is depends on what your reality outcome is. So if you're not mentally in the right place with enough knowledge of paying attention to how the world operates, what goes on in the world, how the world really is, if you don't pay enough attention to that, then when your spirit does some wicked stuff, like put spells on somebody, kill somebody, manipulate somebody, abuse somebody or whatever, and then later on you get that karma, that spirit get that karma back, it reflects in your reality. However, if you pay attention to what you do in your reality and fix yourself and know the difference, then you can be able to overcome the karma that's in your life. I'm giving y'all the information. So for example, my bloodline was tainted, okay? There was a curse put on my bloodline. But because, even though I was asleep in a situation where I didn't know who I was, I still allow myself to look at the world differently. I allow myself to see things differently. I start paying attention to patterns. Everyone in the world is smart. Every single person in the world is smart in their own way. You have knowledge of something, and whatever that knowledge is, hold on to it, because that could be the thing that helps you get through what you're going through. Now, you strengthen your strengths and you also strengthen your weaknesses. So what happens is you're going through a lot, right? And you feel like life is just hitting. You can't focus just on that positive that's in your life. You have to focus on those negatives. You have to strengthen your negatives. Whatever you feel that's hindering you, that's what you have to focus on. When you start focusing on those your fears, those your regrets, those spirits telling you can't do it, that's what you focus on. You strengthen that. Once you strengthen that energy, you can override the system. Either override the reality system or override the spiritual system. Each one is controlled differently. Okay? So in the spirit world, like for me, the reason how I was able to break free from that demonic world is because I paid attention to my reality. I said, well, I'm not sure what's going on within me, so let me figure out how to fix my reality, my outer. So when I watch my family do certain things and I see certain things, instead of allowing myself to focus on what the world tell you to focus on, I focus on what I needed to focus on. So that means I wasn't sitting here worried about who got the next name brand clothes, what person added more air into their booty or their breast, what the next song is going to be, what's the next sports game going to win, what the guys are doing. I wasn't focused on any of that. What's the next drug? All this political stuff. I wasn't focused on that. I stayed in my lane. I focused on me. I focused on what did I need to do for myself to fix me, to fix the situation. I'm in a situation, I don't like it. But I realized the way the world operates, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the connections, if you don't have the support, you can't survive. You cannot be anything. So I start paying attention. Well, if the collective is saying this, it's one of those things, I'm going to show you one hand and I'm hiding the other. I start paying attention to what the collective discuss. So whatever the collective bring up, and then there's a bigger picture. It's no different than what's going on in the world now. But they're talking about the fires and P. Diddy and Beyonce, Jay-Z and all of these things. But then they ain't talking about me. See? Show you one hand but hiding the other. They sitting back and talking about all these celebrities. But guess what? They ain't talking about the government and the churches that's behind all of it. See? They showing you one hand and hiding the other. You get me? That's how family is too. When you look at the spirit world, one, and the reality world, one is showing you one thing and the other one's hiding his hand, controlling the narrative. Y'all like how I flipped that around. So that's how the world operates. So whatever you're seeing, you have to realize there's something else going on in the background. Don't get too caught up in what you see in the news and all of this stuff. You have to pay attention to the details. If you're going to watch it and you're watching yourself, you have to ask yourself, okay, right now there's fires going on. You got all these celebrities and all this stuff that's going on. What's really like y'all like to say, the tea? What's the real tea? What's really going on? What can I do for myself to help me get out of this situation before it hits my home, before it hits me? Okay? So that means, all right, if all these higher ups we all know in the world been getting away with stuff, if they being pulled down and they higher ups, what's going to happen to me for me be a regular smuggler? Okay, I'm not trying to call y'all regular smugglers, but that's what came in the spirit, and the spirit going to talk. So you just a regular. So see how much it hit them. What you think is going to happen to you? Okay, so now this is the part you need to start focusing on yourself and your family life and with your home. This is where you have to say, okay, am I taking care of my business? Because I'm so focused on theirs and the topics, the hot topics of the day or all of these things of the day. What about my home? Okay, Am I taking care of my kids? Am I making sure that we got everything we need? Is my mental in the right place? Okay. Am I stressing out? Am I depressed? Am I feeling lonely? What do I need to get my mind back right? Because something's going on in the world. If all of this stuff is going on in the world, something needs to be done, right? So in order to fix one, you got to fix the other. So if that hand is out, I need to focus on the hand that I can't see. And that's yourselves. That's yourselves. So in order to fix it so that you don't get caught up in their fire, you need to figure out what spirit, or is it your spirit or your reality controlling you? Okay? Which one is controlling you? Do you feel like you living your life based off of your spirit, where you listen to God and knowing that God is directing you down the right path, showing you what you need to do, how to do, where to go, where to be, all of that? Or do you feel like reality is controlling you? Am I sitting here and living my life based off of the next trend, the next style, the next thing, the next food, whatever they say that is the trender of the day? Am I the one running to that every day because they say that's popular? Do I supposed to run to that? And then the other part of it is, okay, is my spirit leading me down the wrong path? When I look back at my life, did I put more good in my life or more bad in my life? Did I complain and tell people that they was the issue or I was the issue? Did I go and help other people, or I just help myself? This is how you can figure out yourself and your family ties. So when it goes back to your family, again, pay attention to the people that's in your circle. Do they operate more on the good side or more on the bad side? Do they talk more about the trenders of the world or more about how we can fix the world? You understand? This is how you can figure out what side you really on. Because we're so focused on these higher up people and all in their business and worrying about all of what they doing. And guess what? When you attach yourself to energy, you receive that energy. So if you're not correct here, right? And you go up there and you sit back and stare at these people on this internet and you judge them and you say, oh, this happened, I believe that happened, and this is this and this, and you be the detective of the day. You're connecting yourself to that spiritual energy. You have built a new family in the spirit. And once you build that family in the spirit, whatever karma that comes to them comes to you also. So when you look at your life and you're looking at what you're doing, you need to pay attention to your world, to your family, to your environment. Watching all these other people fall down, you don't even realize, and you falling in the hole right with them. Be mindful of the energy that you entertain. That goes for these networks and all. Be mindful. Because if everyone keeps talking about the same topic, then there's a topic that ain't being talked about. That's the real tea. That's the truth. And if it scares you to talk about it, then there's your truth. Can't be afraid to stand up on true business. Can't be afraid to figure out who you are. Stop living in these fake family lies. Stop sitting here living in this fake fantasy world. Or all those spells and all those things that is on them will attach to you. Whether good or bad. But be mindful of how you communicate to people. Be mindful of what you communicate to this world. Be mindful of the spirit that's within you. Because if you're not paying attention to your spirit, their spirit can control you. So, like I said, y'all need to pay attention to your family. and what's really going on, and focus on your life, family life. Stop worrying about Beyonce and all the other people. I'm taking care of what need to be taken care of on that stuff. Okay, thank y'all for the services that y'all provide. But right now in this world, I'm going to tell y'all need to start making sure y'all checking yourselves. Because those energies, they can still jump around if they want to. You understand me? Some of them are free agents. They can still jump around. You have to realize the devil loves hell. The devil, that's his home. So it doesn't matter if it goes to another one, because it's already where it need to be at. But this is how you can change that spirit. Work on yourself. The more you work on yourself, you're trapping it. That spirit, that devilish spirit, that demon spirit that you learned from, it's still inside of you. And the only way you can trap it and change it is to figure out who you are. When you start figuring out who you are, you put bars around it where it can't go anywhere. It cannot move. It has to surrender. Because the more you love you, the more that spirit has to surrender to you. And then once you do that, that spirit will turn to good and protect you from any other spirits coming into your home. So that means when you have a child, you don't have to worry about birthing a child with that tainted spirit line. I hope y'all understand what I had to say on that note. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a blessed day.